Hey everybody, Ramy here, and today we're going to talk about using OBS Studio to record and stream. Really awesome piece of software. You can see I have it pulled up in the screen here. This is OBS Studio. Really easy to use. It's open source, awesome software for recording video and streaming to like websites like Twitch and YouTube. So let's talk about how you go about using this software. So you open it up. And it looks a little maybe confusing at first, but it's actually really simple to use. All right, so in the main part of the screen here, what we have is this is what we're actually going to be recording, is what you see in the center here that I'm moving the mouse around. This is what you're going to be recording. On the left-hand side, these are your scenes. Think of scenes as like chapters of a book. You don't really need to use these at first. I'll show you how they're going to be used, but you don't really need to worry about these as first. Your biggest thing to focus on right now are going to be your sources and your controls. Your sources are actually everything that you're going to be recording are your sources. So everything you see up here are your sources. What you're recording, like sound, so like when you choose sound and sources, you'll see it displayed here in the mixer. So that's what the mixer is for. And then your controls are really like start streaming, stop recording, start recording, and we're going to go through the settings and stuff. So let's show you how to use this piece of software. Okay, so what I'm going to do, what I do every time I open up, like let's say I want to record, I record a bunch of games. So let's say I want to record like League of Legends, let's say I normally record League of Legends and I want to create a new game, Counter-Strike. What I do is I always create a new scene. So I go to scene new and I create a new scene. You can see I have some scenes up here like for when I use Skype or something like that. Basically what it does is each time I use a new piece of software, I create a new scene so that my settings for that piece of software are saved. So like my settings for League of Legends are saved for League of Legends. Okay, so what you do, I've created a test just for this video so that you could kind of see everything that I'm going to do. All right, so let's add some sources. So what do we want to add? All right, so the real question is, what do you actually want to record? So I click this little plus button here down at the screen, and you can see all these different options. Audio input capture, audio output capture, different like game capture, display capture. What do I want to capture? Do I want to capture a window? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to think like, what do I want to capture? So the first thing I want to capture is maybe I want to capture my audio input. So I'm going to click this. It's going to say create new, and I can give it a name if I want to. I'm just going to keep it as audio input, and I'm going to click OK. When I do that, it's going to ask me, what do I want to actually record? And you can see, look at the bottom here. You can see as I'm talking, it's picking up sound in my mics. Now I'm using my Yeti mic right now to record, so I wouldn't want to use that. So I'm actually going to pick nothing here because I don't want to record this. Just because I'm recording with my Yeti mic and there might be some interference trying to record two things at once. But you can see it's still showing my audio input capture here. Let me just actually delete this. To delete it, I'm just going to put the minus symbol. And then we've taken it away. All right, so that's how I record my microphone. And one thing about streaming or recording is you always want a separate microphone from your computer. You can literally buy a cheap, decent quality mic off Amazon for like $10 to $20. So if you're like, I can't afford it, just get one of those. Obviously, there's much better mics. I use a Yeti mic for $100, but you need to use a separate mic because the sound coming through your computer and going into your computer is bad quality when you're using your computer speakers for the most part. So you always need to have a separate source of audio. So that's how you capture that audio. Next, audio output capture. Audio output capture is your desktop audio. So like if a game is playing, like I'm playing League of Legends, I want the users to be able to hear the sound of League of Legends. So I'm going to select create audio capture, and you can see I'm going to choose my speakers. Whatever my speakers are, wherever the sound should be played, I'm going to choose that. I would choose speakers, Realtek audio, and that would record my game audio. And the cool thing about that is I could actually have my computer muted and it'll still record my desktop audio. Really cool feature. Then what you've got to do is decide, okay, so what am I really capturing? And one of the tricky things, and OBS is a little quirky in that, so let's say I want to record League of Legends. League of Legends actually has two different windows. It has a client, which is where I log into, and as soon as I click play game, it opens up a whole new window. So you have to kind of play around with the actual game or whatever you want to record. Like if you want to record let's say you want to record your browser. I have a lot of problems with OBS and browsers. Like, I might have to click display capture or window capture to try to find the browser. So, for example, I might just click window capture. I'm going to click it, and you can see what OBS looks like. It automatically pulls something up, and you can see all these different things that I can try to record. And what I'll do is I'll just click one of them. Like, this is just clicking the start window, and then it's saying which, so I'm clicking my file, and it's saying which window do I want to match. Window must match title, window must be match title or be the same type, or just find any executable window. So you can kind of pick and choose. If you click OK, that's what it's going to record, and then you actually go in and you can change the size and make it fit the actual screen. But we're not capturing any window right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you something else. Okay, let's say you wanted to choose like a game. You'd click game capture, and basically all these features function exactly the same. Like, I'm going to click game capture, capture any full screen applications, capture specific window, capture foreground window with hotkeys. So I'm going to go to specific window, and again, everything that's popped up right now, it's going to ask me which I want to record. So I would find like League of Legends here, click OK, and click OK, and it would record it. So you really need to play around with, do I need to capture a window versus a game? Sometimes the program's a little finicky in that, like, sometimes it prefers a game for a certain game, and sometimes it prefers window capture for a certain game. But like, let's say I want to capture my browser. I've had a lot of issues with OBS and browsers. The only browser I can actually capture is Chrome. For some reason, it does not like Firefox or Internet Explorer, but it likes Chrome, so I can record Chrome. So one way around everything. So you know, I'm saying that sometimes I have issues like capturing things, like whether it wants to capture a game or a window. Even though it's a game, it might not show up in the game here. I might have to use a window. So what I actually do is I just do display capture. Display capture just captures everything on the desktop. So no matter what's playing there, it's going to be recorded. That's the safest way to do it. Now, there's something funky with display capture. Display capture only really works if you have a second monitor or an external monitor. So what I do, I do have an external monitor. So let me show you. I'll click display capture, click OK, and it's going to look at my two displays. Notice how if I'm selected one, this is my one I'm on right now. Notice how nothing is showing up. It's still black here in the background. If I click display 2, look at that. It's showing my monitor. I click OK, and I've got my display. And I can drag things onto there if I would like to. Like, let me just open up a folder here, and I'm going to drag it right onto that display. So you can see my desktop. You can see that it automatically just, you know, here's my actual screen right now that you're recording and watching. Here's my second display. You can see right when I drag it on. So if I wanted a browser, I could very easily, I'll actually put a browser, open it up right here, drag it onto my second display. So if a game or I wanted to record a certain browser, a certain feature, I could always do it on my second display really easily. Okay, so that's how you do that. So that's how you would capture like a game. That's how you would capture any program. You can see we've got, so that's how we capture the audio input. I'm going to show you a few more things. I just want to make sure that we have covered these. Audio input is your audio coming in your mic. Audio output is your desktop audio. Game and window capture are used to capture things like browsers, software you're opening up, a game. I do recommend just playing around with each of these for each piece of software and figure out what works. Like when I know what works for League of Legends, I save it. To save it, you don't even need to do anything. It just saves automatically. But when I want a new game, I just click new and create a whole new scene so that my next piece of software is its own thing. So basically each thing I use to record, it has its own scene. Okay. So that's how you basically record everything. Now, how do you actually record yourself? So how do you record yourself? Like, let's say I want to create a video, but I want like my, if you watch any of my videos, I'm a lot of times like there's a picture of me right down here in the lower part of the screen. I didn't do that for this video because OBS has so much things going on. I didn't want to show myself. And when I stream, I usually have a picture of myself in the upper corner. So how do you do that? You're going to click the plus button and you're going to pick video capture device. and this is going to capture my video. And I can choose whatever I want it to be. I can use an integrated webcam. I have a pro cam that I like to use. That's my thing of choice. And now look, voila, you can see me. Hey everybody. And I can configure my video. I can actually do some nice little things with it. Like, you know, I can change the brightness, contrast, a whole bunch of stuff. I can zoom in. Let's zoom in there. Click OK, apply, OK. Click OK. And look, I can move this around. I can do whatever I want with this. I can make it huge. Whoa, whoa. I can make it really, really tiny. I can do other cool things with it too. Like a lot of times if you watch any of my videos, you can't see my background. I have a green screen. So what I can do with each of these, everything, is I can right click on this and there's all kinds of options that I can go through, like remove it, rename it, resize it, but there are filters and properties. So I'm going to do that on my video. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to filters. When I go to filters, there are audio and video filters and effects filters. So there's all kinds of different options you can play with. And I don't need to show you every single option this piece of software does. I'm showing you the basics so that you can get started. I'm going to create other videos, and I've already created some that show like specific features in this piece of software. But like green screen, I would click effect filter plus chroma key, and I would have to have a green screen in the background, and I could get rid of the color green. And then you would just see my face. You would see nothing else. So pretty cool stuff. Really easy to use. Now, let's talk. So that's how you get set up. You got your piece of software. So, and now I'm showing my face on the screen, which is perfect because I wasn't using my video originally because of all the different settings and everything. I didn't want to cover things up, right? So that's how you capture your game or your window. And this is how you get your video. And I've shown you how to get your audio. Really simple. Okay. Let's see. Let me make myself a little small here, because I don't think that I'm guessing that my voice and what I'm recording are not going to show up perfectly. So it's going to look really awkward. So let's actually just get rid of this. Okay, so let's say I want to like hide something like video captured. I can click this little eye and just hide it so that you can't see it when I'm recording, or bring it back. So that's like, I don't want to just delete it, but I also don't want to, you know, I might just want to not use it for one video, but I still want to keep it there and use it other times. So I can just hide it. All right, so let's go to our settings before we go to start recording, start streaming. Okay, so settings. Let me make this bigger so that you can see everything happening here. We're not going to go through all of these because there's no point in going through all of these because you're not going to really need them to start. So what you want to do is figure out what are the main things I need to do. Really, you hardly need to play with these settings at all unless there's some like real specific thing you want to do. But like general, there's nothing that I need to actually click here. What I've personally have selected is automatically record when streaming. What does that mean? That means like when I stream to like a website like Twitch, I also save a default recording on my desktop. That means that like if I want to publish if I've streamed to Twitch but I want to go back, edit the video and put it on YouTube, I save a copy of it on my desktop as I record. So every time I click start streaming, I'm also recording a video. And also that uses up a lot of space, so you got to be careful. You know, you got to know how much space you have and go back and delete those if you don't need them. Streaming. This is where you choose where do I want to stream. So like I'm streaming to Twitch right now. I can pick YouTube or Restream or anything I really want to. When you select like Twitch, for example, I select Twitch, use the recommended server, you need a stream key. How do you get the stream key? All that you're going to do is you're going to go on the web. You're going to go to twitch.com and log into your account. You're going to click this link right here. If you click this link, like if I click this, and I'll do that, it's going to ask me to log into Twitch. And as soon as I log in, it's going to take me to my stream key. I'm going to copy it, paste it right in here. And I'm not going to show this to you because you need to keep it private. So you can't show anyone what it is. But you just click this button. And like same thing with YouTube. If I click YouTube, click the link, it'll take me right to my stream key. All right. Output. This is just, you know, what it's being output as. Again, nothing for you to change here unless you need and know there's something to change. The only thing I have set here is the path where my videos are actually saved to. So you can set, like if you want them to be set to a specific folder on your desktop, you would click that right here. And then I don't mess with anything else. There are no other settings here that I've played with. Audio is kept by default. Video has been kept to default. And I don't change any of my hotkeys, and I haven't touched any of this advanced stuff. You don't need to do that unless you have a specific reason to do it. When you're just starting out, just learning the software, just want to play with it, the only thing you really need to do is choose whether you want to record it, pick where you want to stream, and choose where you want your stuff saved. And that's it. I'm going to click cancel because I don't need to save any of those settings whatsoever. Okay, so how do you use it? Well, I would open up, let's say I'm recording this desktop right now. I mean, I could be if I was recording it. Let's say that I wanted, I was recording a game playing on this desktop, blah, blah, blah. And let me just open something up and do that. Opening something up. Oh yeah, you're seeing my screen anyway, so you're seeing what I'm opening. Okay. So we've opened something up. We've opened up a game. This is League of Legends. So let's say I'm recording this, blah, blah, blah. Let's say, how do I record it? How do I want to record it? All that I do is I click, let me get my mouse over. Confused because I got a mouse on the desktop here. Okay, I just click start streaming. That's it. And it's streaming automatic. I've already linked it to Twitch. It's going to start streaming. There is a lag depending on your internet connection. So what I mean by that is like when I click start streaming, there's probably like an 8 to 10 second lag on Twitch. So like what I'm recording doesn't show up on Twitch for 8 seconds. So there's like just a disconnect in time. It's not really a lag. It's just it's a disconnect in time of like 8 seconds. So, so if you're trying to chat with people, just know there's like a little, it's going to differ based on your internet speed. So you test it. I mean, it could be 30 seconds or a minute, but mine's like it's quick. Sometimes it's right on, but I'd say on average, like 8 to 10 seconds. If I don't want to stream, I just want to record, I can click start recording. But since I have the option checked whenever I stream, I'll record just by clicking start streaming, start recording is pressed as well, automatically. And that's it. That's it. When you're done, you just exit, and guess what? All your settings are automatically saved. So like if I close this out and come back tomorrow, these settings are going to be saved exactly. It's a really easy piece of software to use, really powerful. You can there's a lot of different options. I covered like the very basics to get you started to record audio, record games, record screens, and kind of told you some of the things that I've learned as I, went through and have been playing with this software and really using it extensively over the last year. Thank you very much.